If everyone could please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Caprio?
Present.
Trustee Speed?
Present.
Trustee Nancy Turkey?
Present.
Trustee Barrier?
Present.
Mayor Yukich?
Present.
Trustee Rogers is absent.
Okay. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay. We have 3 sets of minutes to approve. So is there a motion to approve the minutes of January 24th, 2018 Village Board meeting?
I so move.
Trustee Sweet?
I'll second.
Trustee Drake? Any discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Second one, is there a motion to approve the minutes of February 14th, 2018 Village Board meeting? I so move. Trustee Caprio?
Second.
Trustee Gray? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of February 28th, 2018 Village Board meeting?
Mayor, before you accept a motion on that, I'd like to make a change to the third page of it. The amount at the very top line should say 981052 instead of 81052. Maybe that for the motion.
You can do it. We can suspend Robert's rules for that purpose. I think it's usually wise to do it that way because then otherwise you're going to have to amend the motion. Yeah.
Okay.
So the amount at the top, on the top line, the invoice should say 981052 instead of $810.
One other quick technical correction. Item 1, the I say 6. 5. The names are right. It just
Say
says,
that?
yeah, just says 6.
Okay, now we need a second.
We actually need it first.
I'll make that motion.
With those amendments.
Yes, with those amendments.
Trustee Gray? Second.
I'll second.
Trustee Squeeze? Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Next is reports and communications from mayor and other officers. I'll start out. We have 2 things. One's very big and very happy for us. But, get these out of the way first. Congratulations to the Homer Junior High School wrestling team and their IESA, Illinois Elementary School Association State Championship win at the IESA State Tournament in DeKalb. The team, which is coached by David Rush, claimed the title with 163 points. Way to go, Mustangs. And we hope to recognize them here at the next Village Board meeting on Wednesday, March 28th. Proposed 143rd Street improvements. If you were unable to attend the Will County Division of Transportation meeting regarding the proposed improvements to 143rd Street between Lamont Road and State Street and Bell Road. Documents from the meeting are available for viewing on the village website. Then, we have some very good news with 159th Street. The Illinois Department of Transportation has approved acceleration for the 159th Street Improvement Project in Homer, Glen. According to the Illinois Transportation Secretary, Randall Blankenhorn, paving will start early this spring. IDOT is expediting the Homer Glen project to substantially complete the new 4-lane configuration by the end of the calendar year 2018. So it cuts at least a year off. There will be additional work items that will need to be completed in 2019, such as landscaping. Trustee Brian Berry reached out to the state representatives, Jim Durkin, Senator Curran, and along with Randall Blankenhorn, regarding our concern over the impact of the community, and especially the 159th Street businesses with another year of project delay. Representative Durkin and Senator Kern worked together to communicate our local concern with IDOT to facilitate getting the road project back on track. On behalf of 159th Street businesses and Homer Glen residents, I extend our great appreciation to Representative Durkin and Senator Kern for their facilitation, and road improvements are never easy on the community. We have been greatly concerned for the business impact, especially from the increasingly protracted time frame on the road project. We are grateful for the mediation on our behalf by our state elected officials. And we want to thank Homer Glen residents for the cooperation during the road construction and encourages the community to go out on their way to support local business owners. Trustee Burr, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I would just say, with regards to Senator Curran and Representative Durkin, we met with them less than 2 weeks ago, somewhere in that time frame. We let them know the importance of this project, and the delay was unacceptable and the effect on businesses. And to their credit, within 10 days, they had the Secretary of IDOT here in Homer Glen driving the project, not staff, but the Secretary of IDOT, the guy that makes the decisions, and drove the project and made the decision after driving the project that it was going to be accelerated. So to me, it's a testament to the importance of having good elected officials. And in this case, I think we have 2 really good elected officials that came in within days of our phone call, met, and within days of that had the Secretary of IDOT here. And the results are, you know, looking to shave, huge for not only the current businesses that are struggling to keep their doors open, but for the potential of the new development that is waiting for this project to be completed. And the news of that extension into end of 2019 and 2020 was, I think, risking the potential of losing projects for this town in addition to current businesses closing their doors. So I don't think the importance can be overstated, and we'll just say thank you again to our elected officials for jumping in and doing what they're elected to do.
Right. And shop Homer Glen. Heritage Park update. While Phase 1 construction of Heritage Park and the construction of a 1-mile walking path are underway and will be completed this June, Phase 2 is about to begin. Phase 2 of Heritage Park will focus on the active core area amenities to be constructed in the 2018 season. Amenities will include gazebo, sensory garden area, tennis courts, sand volleyball courts, bocce ball courts, corn beanbag toss platforms, nature play area, challenge course area, fitness area. And we also plan on having frisbee golf, pickleball.
And pickleball.
And pickleball.
I'll see that next to that.
Water and sewer concerns. We are continuing to address with water and sewer issues within the village. To focus our concerns, we'd like to hear from you. In water and our sewer comments, form has been added to the village website. The form can be completed online, and printed copies are also available in the village hall. If you have any questions regarding the form, please contact Village Hall at 708-301-0632. This is just my feeling on it. Illinois American Water they're doing what they can. We're trying to make it a little bit different. But sometimes when I look at some of the things that's going on Facebook and how everyone is so upset and driving people away from even coming out here to buy a house. So I would say let this suit that we have work its way through. And you don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. The water is not going to change much. So we have a wonderful village here. We have more open land than anybody does. Property taxes are not bad. We don't have a municipal tax. The water bill is unfortunate, but we don't want to be driving people away, because I've had a lot of people call me and say that's one thing that's stopping, because everybody here complains about the water. You got Chicago water. We don't have water like some of the surrounding areas that, God, I don't think anyone wants to drink it. But we we have a wonderful village here, and we want to make it better, and let's get some more businesses in here, let's get some houses in here, let's make it what it should be, my opinion. Next would be the trustees' report. We'll go with Trustee Gabriel.
No report, Mayor.
Trustee Gabriel. Trustee Suisse.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Oh, okay. Trustee Barrett.
No report, Mayor.
Trustee Trikey.
No report.
Trustee Gray.
I will report. In Trustee Rogers' absence, I'll report for the Public Safety Committee. March is Poison Prevention Month in the village and in the state. In Illinois, more people are hospitalized for poisoning than from injuries from firearms and traffic crashes combined. I did put out some handouts up there with the agendas as well as to the board and staff, so everybody can take a look at that and visit them on their websites to be aware of what poisons are and how to prevent them, or how to avoid them. I'd also like to add that our April meeting will be moved to 5 p.m. We're going to start our meeting here in the boardroom, and then we're going to take a field trip over to the Will County Public Safety Complex that the lieutenant is going to give us a tour and presentation on that. And Joe Baker's going to email everybody and let them, if anybody wants to join us, similar to what we did in the spring, I think it was, at the West County. We also discussed the bringing out the radar and data collection devices. They're being ready for deployment and redeployment in areas around the village in hopes to get some more data on some of the speeding areas. And the Homer Township Road Commissioner DeVivo reported that there's a culvert that goes under Parker Road north of 143rd Street. It's not the one that's for Long Run Creek, but it's like one of the tributaries, but it's starting to fail. So he was able to temporarily put some flow concrete around it to stabilize it, but they're taking a look at it, and eventually it will have to be full replacement.
Thank you. Is there a treasurer's report?
No report, Mayor.
Is there a clerk's report?
Actually, yes. There's 2 more days of early voting, and it is held at the Township Building, 2 doors to our west. Tomorrow night, they're open until 6, so the hours are from 9 to 6, and then Friday, 9 to 3:30, and then election day is Tuesday. We are just about complete with our 2018 business registrations, and of the commercial businesses, only 32 have now responded, so we're doing really well this year.
Good.
That's all.
Village attorney?
No report, Rob?
Public safety officials?
Yes, sir.
Your floor, Jimmy.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to let everybody know that on March 12th, the Speedway gas station, 151st and Bell Road, reported that a male came in at around midnight and had his face covered, displayed a handgun, and made off with U.S. currency. Due to quick response by the responding deputies and the gathering of information, assistance by the public, and as well as a dedicated, thorough investigation by the Investigations Division, arrests were made within 24 hours of the crime. So great job by all the parties that were involved. And with that, that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Village manager?
No report, Mayor.
Public comment? John, I saw you by the paper, so I'm taking the time to sign up.
You're not telling me I'm overdone already, are you? I hope.
Okay, Mr. Coy, you're first.
2 weeks ago, I was talking about a tree service that was in Yankees Park walking around. Today, they were down there driving their equipment down the bike path, which is our responsibility, the village, not the township. Anyway, and I told them, I says, you guys aren't supposed to be on that bike path with, you know, tractors and trailers and stuff like that. I said, maybe a pickup, possibly, but why are you cutting the trees that aren't even in your easement? But he said, well, they're dead. Well, I agreed with him there, but I just didn't like his attitude either. So anyway, I found out who them people were. What was the name of them? Robbins or something? David? Robbins. Anyway, I found out that David had put in a report that some of them trees should be cut down before they fall on somebody, which I did agree with. They've been there for 10 years, but 10 years ago when I questioned ComEd when they put down vegetation and kills all, on that hill coming down the Angus, it killed everything. 30, 40-year-old trees. Well, now, I mean, the marsh used to be part marsh, now it's all marsh. Another thing. I saw the article in the paper about 143rd Street talking about starting it. Well, that doesn't mean they're going to start next month or this year either, but they're going to start it. We need somebody, I don't see Mike here, but anyway, when they put it, the first part of 143rd Street, according to my dictionary, when it says retention and detention, there's two different types. One's supposed to hold water and then leave it out as it, at a slower rate is what it's coming in. It doesn't work there. This past rains and stuff we had, the Angus Park was full from Long Run Creek, was 1.5 to 2 inches from going over our street at our entrance. I mean, it's terrible that when the county comes, and we even had a meeting, with Mike, myself, Mike DeVito, Will County Highway Commissioner, there was seven or nine different people, and all big shots, and they all said the same thing, well, detention areas are different. No, to me, that isn't what, you look it up in the dictionary, it's supposed to take water, hold it, and then release it at a regulated speed. Well, it don't hold water, period. Never has, but nobody wants to take responsibility for it. They say it holds the water under the street. I got pictures of the culverts they put in. Some culverts aren't big enough to hold the amount of water that's in the Angus Park. I would really, really make sure you get a good engineer to go with these clowns when they go out, if they're gonna go keep extending. Because if you take 143rd Street, like I did, I took a surveyor's instrument, and I says from Bell Road to Will Cook, there was something like 7 or 8 feet difference in height. Well, when you take from Bell Road to Parker Road, go downhill, I would take a guess at 80 feet. You're dropping down. How the heck are they going to get that water to Long Run Creek? It's something to remember, and when the time comes, we have to follow them and make sure that it's done right this time. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Wayne?
Wayne Fairbrother, 14459 Provencal Drive. Two small issues. Well, depends how you look at it. The Municipal Investment Fund. In looking at the website, there's quite a bit of information on there, but it's been 2 years since John has given a written report on the status of that fund. And I think what's happened over the last couple of months, it warrants another written report on, so the homeowners get to know a little bit about it, and the trustees too. You're probably up to date, but at least the residents, yeah. So I'm just requesting that another written report be prepared for the website. Second issue is the water agency. Now, I don't want to beat this to death either, but two issues on the water agency. You mentioned, I think, a couple of meetings ago about the apparent need for 2 lawsuits. We also feel that way, the residents feel that way, and the way I look at it, we've been 6 years at this first lawsuit, and I don't know how long it's going to take. Any idea how long this one's going to take?
Every time we do anything, Illinois American Water steps up and does a reverse and it sits for 7 or 8 months. So, no, I don't have any idea.
So I think the residents ought to be aware that there may be another lawsuit. We're talking a long time and a lot of money. So,
If you're talking about purchasing the infrastructure,
yeah.
yeah. That I know about.
There will be one?
Extremely expensive.
Yes.
Extremely expensive. And at that point, we don't even know what buys.
Does that money include purchasing the water line itself?
Water line is separate, so that's what we're suing for right now is the water line.
No, I meant, say we win the suit. I mean, do we got to pay for that out of that fund or separately?
We would have to pay for the suit if we sued them for the infrastructure on our own. Everyone else has their own infrastructure. We don't.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Glen. Legislation and action items. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-010, an ordinance approving a preliminary and final plat of subdivision? Okay, good. So I need a motion for that one.
I so move.
I'll second.
Trustee Caprio, Trustee Trecky, discussion?
This is just for the approval of the plat.
Correct.
And it's just for lots 3, 4, and 5?
It's
No,
For the whole sub.
all set.
Oh, for the whole
All
sub.
lots,
Okay.
right?
The plat.
Oh, the site plan is for
Yes.
3, 4, and 5. I do have a couple
Oh,
of
good.
questions. Director, because 143rd will be widened in that area, the variances on table 1, the setback variances, where they're 15 feet difference, that's been taken into account, so they have plenty of space there, correct? Where the parking, I'm looking at front parking lots, where it says 30 feet variant, well, it says 30, and the variance is 15 feet.
Sure, yeah, those are based on the latest plat map. So in the future it changes, of course, they got to amend the PUD.
So that's taken into account possibly how wide that area is going to
No,
be?
we don't have the final taking, so this is based on the current estimate of where the property is. So
Currently, it's based on what the road looks like today.
correct.
Is that an issue, is that going to be an issue?
I'll defer to the attorney how we resolve that in the
I'm
future.
not clear on what we're,
So we're talking about the setback variances on 143rd Street. Should they change with Will County taking? How would that impact the setback variances?
Because I guess it's based on how the road looks today, but I understand, that's going to be a double turn lanes and widen.
Trustees, I believe, if I can interject, I believe most of the right-of-way is being taken on
The other
north
side,
of
the
the street.
shell.
Okay, with
So
the
it
other
won't
shell.
affect, yes.
There would probably be a little bit on this side, but I don't think it will affect the parking. You might recall the Shell station next to this. We had enough room for them to put that new sign in with the proposed right-of-way.
Okay, so it'd be just a
So on this side, I don't think it's as much, but Mr. Gowdy's correct that we don't have the exact dimensions, but we don't believe that it would eliminate that row of parking, which I believe is your main concern.
Okay, great, thank you. And then my other questions, but that was answered in the ordinance 1811 under section 5, is that when the building permit, before building permits get issued, compliance with the village codes such as stormwater, lighting, that all has to take place. And as a reminder, the luminaire schedule is part of the code, so we need to request that too. Okay.
Anything else?
Is the signage part of the plat, or is it part of the?
That's part of the PUD approval. But that's next motion.
The next work on it.
Any other questions on this one? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gren?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Mansky-Trackie?
Aye.
Trustee Larry?
Aye. Motion carries. Second part. Ordinance number 18-011, approving a special use permit for a planned unit development in the C2 local business district. In accordance with Chapter 220 zoning, Article 9, plan development of the Code of the Village of Homer, Glen, and a special use permit for a drive-through establishment on lot 1 and 5, outdoor seating for restaurants on lots 1 and 5, and extended hours of operations for lots 1 and 5 in accordance with Chapter 220 zoning, Attachment 2, Table 2A, permitted in special uses in non-residential zoning districts for certain real property located in the C2 local business district with pins 16-05, -11, -206, -001, -002, and 003 on the southwest corner of 143rd Street and South Bell Road to construct a neighborhood shopping center.
So moved.
Trustee Gray,
Second.
trustee Varian, discussion?
I have a few questions, Mayor. First one I've gone over with Mr. Gotti, and he confirmed something for me, but on the sign portion of it, the plans show two multi-tenant monument signs, one on lot 5 and one on lot 1. And they are, the diagram that they show, drawing, shows them at 15 feet tall, and the code calls for a maximum of 10 feet tall. So I believe that Mr. Gotti asked me, are you the architect?
I am.
Hi.
My name is David Mangurten, principal in the architectural firm K. Main Associates, with offices at 1121 Lake Cook Road in Deerfield. And as I came in tonight, I became aware that although our documents, drawings, and text show that we have two signs that exceed the height in the ordinance and the size, they were not part of the variance request. So I'd like the following added to our variances and be covered in the PD, or however is the legal way to do it. Just so you know, and it was discussed, I think, in the Plan Commission a little bit, because the site has two buildings that do not have, are not exterior to the roadways, they don't have the ability to have signage. So we placed a multi-tenant sign at each driveway to cover those buildings. And that's why we're seeking the variance or the request to allow for two signs on lots 1 and 5, I believe.
The variance you're requesting is to have the additional signs, but right now, the way they're drawn, they're shown at 15 feet tall, which exceeds.
Correct. So
Are
that's
you
the
asking
second.
for a variance to go up to 15 feet as well?
Yes.
And that's also something that, I mean, you can approve everything as right now, but that additional variance is going to have to go to the planning commission.
No, that was mentioned at the planning commission.
What was it mentioned?
Yeah, and it's also part of the sign drawings. So it's just that.
The 15 feet was mentioned, because I didn't see that in the minutes. That's why.
It's part of the sign drawings. It just that it wasn't clearly shown with the variance table, but it's shown as part of the sign drawings. So that's what he's clarifying. So.
Or was there discussion as to the size, the height of the sign?
Not specifically the monument sign, they went through all the wall signage, but they have the drawing.
Yeah, I recall being, when we were there talking about the different facings of the things, but I think needing a variance for the height of the sign, that was not discussed.
Not specifically, but although it was submitted to them as a part of the sign drawing.
So I didn't fix it.
That was part of the sign drawings that was presented.
So you submitted the same drawings, but nobody caught that they were 15 feet tall versus 10 on the other.
And there wasn't a specific request for a variance at the time.
It wasn't specifically called for yet.
Okay. Then unfortunately, I think, you know, not trying to be a stickler, but this is,
I will.
if you want to, I mean, this is why you pay me, though, but this is something that you can approve everything, but for the signs individually, I think that we need to come back to planning. There needs to be an application for that specific variance for the height of the sign to exceed the normal heights, and then go from there.
I don't see a problem for that because if those two interior lots get developed, we have to come back anyway.
For the site plan approval.
Just to make sure that everything's
No.
done properly.
I get it.
Not trying to make you come back, I know you enjoy seeing it.
No problem.
I have a comment. Is it possible, instead of doing 15 feet, can you make it wider? Are you asking for that height because you feel like you're going to have so many businesses or so many items listed on it? Can't you make it wider instead of going 15 feet?
We'd have to explore that. I mean, those buildings are really placeholders now on the site plan. So I think...
So this is something you don't need right away?
Exactly.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I actually have a few more. What is the anticipated timeline for the phases?
Phase 1, our drawings are pretty far along, and we hope to come in a matter of a month or less, a couple of weeks maybe. The client would like it in a couple of weeks, but also the client is talking to the village to get a site development permit immediately. So it's happening.
So phase 1 will be going very quickly upon approval, and then the others, I assume, are market driven.
Actually, there's some discussion already on lot 1, and that I know about, and I'm sure there's others.
No, I mean the other phases of the project, going into phase 2 and phase 3.
Okay, I don't know the timing. I mean, lot 1 is really covered in phase 2. It might accelerate.
Okay. And then the no left in off of westbound 143rd Street, is that to accommodate the future expansion of 143rd? Because if somebody's going westbound on 143rd Street, if they go through the intersection of Bell Road, they're not going to have an opportunity to go into that shopping center. So either they're going to go by it and try to turn around in the church or the fire department or into the ComEd driveway there and swing back around, or they're going to have to know. So I'm just trying to figure out, is that to accommodate some future?
That's a Will County issue. We met with Will County a number of times, with the developer, with the mayor. Because of the turn lanes, they could not accommodate a full intersection at that location. So.
And do we know what that will look like? Will that be an unmountable median? Because the Shell station still has an access that you could, which is much closer to Bell Road, that you can make a left into.
Correct. So on 143rd, there'll be a right in, right out. There'll be just past that point, there'll be a non-mountable median. And then as you go further, there'll be a mountable median. So getting into the school and the fire department further down, mountable median. On Bell, it'll be a mountable median, so we'll be able to get in on that access across from the river.
And have you had any more luck in getting a cutway into the Circle K? I'm looking at that plan, I don't even know where that would happen. To be honest with you.
The client is talking to Circle K for potential access to our site to help them out. But from what I understand, they're also looking at perhaps reconfiguring some of their structures. So until they decide what they're doing, I think it's still open.
Any other questions? Mr. Mayor, is there any plans for any sidewalks there?
John will have to talk to PJ on that. We didn't come in with any of that on the plan right now.
And that was discussed at Plan Commission, and that was going to be one of my questions. I think Plan Commission, on the front end of this, I think Plan Commission did a really good job on this and asked really good questions. Trustee Gray has covered a couple of those that I have access to, Circle K being one, but I think the answer, correct me if I'm wrong, BJ, but the answer on the potential of sidewalks is something that can be explored during the staff review for room.
Yeah, that's correct. That's part of the right-of-way engineering review, and I don't think the applicant was asked to explore the sidewalk, crosswalk connection with the town center right across the street. And I don't know, do you want to comment on that?
Well, I think that it's more complicated because of the highway work, and our traffic consultant and our civil engineer expressed some concern about that being part of the entire improvement of the corner. It's not something that we can propose to do. We have no control over the very corner anyway. So it should be a more global kind of design, and we would participate. I'm sure our client would participate when things shake out, I guess.
I know there was also discussion during plan on the hours of operation that are being requested. some as early as 4:30 a.m., I believe. And one of the questions in the plan was current businesses and if any currently had hours that went that early. Again, I know we don't know end users here, but I know Dunkin' Donuts opens at 4. Starbucks, I think, opens at 5. And so I think there are some existing businesses that already have hours similar to what's being requested. So I know that was a question at plan, but it's something that I'm comfortable with. And I would just say overall, we've looked at this concept a couple of times in Community and Economic Development Committee, and I think, you know, we've got questions here this evening, but the takeaway here should be this is a great project for this town, and a great retail development that we are excited to have. So I would just say that it's a big deal for us. It's a shot in the arm from a retail development standpoint, and so it's overall a very positive project for all involved. So one last question I would have is on something we talked about in CD, which is the awnings on some of the design here. I see them on some of the buildings, but I don't necessarily see them on others.
Right. It's building, I think it's building 5.
Building 5 certainly has them.
I think.
Is there a reason why they're on some? Is it because they're more restaurant oriented? What would be the reasoning to have the awnings on some and not others?
Based on users and what they are expecting, I think, and the fact that we didn't want to make all the buildings. You know, we're using the same brick on as many of the buildings that we have control over, and so we chose to do some variety in the other elements, and so it was kind of arbitrary, I'll be perfectly honest with that.
I think personal taste here, I just think the awnings on a flat front of a building give it a little bit more of a premium feel. And if there are areas to add those, just, you know, I'm not again looking to slow this down or make it a condition, but if there are other buildings to look at the addition of the awnings that are on building 5, I think that's something that I would like to see. But I'll just leave it at that.
And if I can add one more thing, I would like to echo what Trustee Beery said. We are very excited about this. It is a very nice looking project, and I hope it gets approved, and I hope it's successful if it does. And to that end, I'd like to ask the attorney, can we approve this? The applicant right now has an application for sign variance for 8 monument signs. So that's what we just made a motion on. So but the square footage on the breakdown of them does not match with not having variance for the 15-foot sign. So can we make an amendment to give him 8 monument signs all at regular size? Would the board, would there be interest in that? So he can, and then he can come back before planning if he so decides to make those 2 outer ones on the corners into larger signs for multi-tenant, or he can stick with the same size for an individual monument sign that you currently have and split the difference, you know, split the face of it, so they'd all be consistent around the thing, and then those 2 would be split. Then that way you can make that decision if you want to come back before the board. But right now, how do we get those out of there? Because there's line items in there that show square footage and things like that that don't really jive.
And that was part of that's part of the plan unit development, correct, BJ?
Yeah, I guess the question is from Trustee Gray, can the board approve 2 monument signs on lot 1 and lot 5 meeting the zoning requirements without any other variances? Meaning the height and area, but there'll be 2 on lot 1 and 2 on lot 5.
Or yes, to take those out completely and only approve 6 monument signs and make the gentleman come back before us for those 2 other ones.
Well, I guess part of it is what would your preference be? Because you're gonna have to come back
We're going to have to come back for those interior buildings anyway. So, and you know, the the whole idea of having the taller sign is for visibility. So depending on the user, if it's a medical user, I don't know, it could be, we don't know. So I prefer to come back, I think.
So we just pull those out. Exactly. Good point.
Because section 3 or section 4 says we accept everything in Exhibit D. So that's where all the variants are on the side. So I'm not clear, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be clear.
We'd have to modify Exhibit D to whatever the board decides.
So we need to amend the motion to affect the...
To be only 6 single-tenant monument signs.
Yeah, so you're not looking for changes there, so.
Right. Right, I think the listing that has all of the square footages, though, I think has the multi-tenant ones in there, but there's no variance requested for the taller sign. So those two are at odds with each other. So if we just pull those two multi-tenants out, go with 6 single-tenant
And
monuments.
if you want to change them down the line, then.
Right, that's what you open that before us. So I think that was my motion. So can I amend that motion to take out anything that has to do with the 2 multi-tenant signs, any square footages that refer to those, as well as the 2 monument signs that exceed our height limits?
Yes. Were we clear on that?
Yeah, I'm just, thank you.
So, is there any other discussion, or?
We need to.
That was just.
Yeah.
Sure, so second. Okay, all right. So then, Madam Clerk, any roll call, please?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet? Aye. Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Tracy?
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-012, an ordinance approving and adopting the official 2018 zoning map of the Village of Homer Glen? It is understood that this adoption includes map amendments approved over the course of 2017.
So moved.
Trustee Burry,
Second.
Trustee Gray, discussion?
I just have a comment, Director Gary. I did mention this to Assistant McGinnis. When he has the map amendments listed, because some of these were done almost a year ago, I just as a reminder, I just asked him, like, the zoning map amended approved March 22. Instead of us looking like, okay, what was that? Make just a brief, one sentence. This was a change from ag to, or vice versa, so that it's just a reminder. And same with they have all the PIN numbers up here in number 2, but unless you pull out and try to look up that ordinance, it just gives you an idea of what it was about.
That's the
as a reminder.
Benson Farm, the second.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Nancy Tracy? Aye. Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, resolution number 18-001, a resolution authorizing participation in the 2018 ComEd Green Region Grant Program for the Sensory Garden as part of Phase 2 of the Village's Heritage Park Development.
I so moved.
Trustee Sweet?
I second.
Trustee Trachey, discussion. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Tracy? Aye. Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any new business? Is there any old business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries, meeting adjourned.